Have you ever felt like you are working incredibly hard at your English, but the results just aren't showing up? You watch the movies, you memorize the grammar lists, and you try to force your brain to work, but when it's time to actually speak, you freeze. You feel stuck. Well, I have some good news for you. The problem isn't your brain, and it isn't your ability. The problem is the advice you've been following. There are invisible traps, false ideas that hold thousands of students back every single day. Today, we're going to dismantle these myths one by one. Once you see the truth, the path to fluency becomes instant, clear, and actually enjoyable. Introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're going to have a very serious, heart-to-heart conversation about the things that are secretly killing your progress. We call these misconceptions. A misconception is basically a mental trap. It's a lie that sounds like the truth. You believe it because everyone else seems to believe it, but in reality, it is stopping you from reaching your potential. These false beliefs are dangerous because they create confusion. They make you feel guilty when you don't succeed. But when we sweep these lies away, you can finally relax. You can stop fighting against yourself and start using your time in a way that actually works. We're going to walk through these myths together, and I'm going to show you the reality of how real fluency is built. Myth number 1, the Netflix illusion. Let's start with the biggest one. I see this all the time. Students tell me, I watch 3 movies a week with subtitles, so I should be fluent soon, right? This is the trap of passive consumption. There is a popular idea that if you just bathe your brain in Hollywood movies, the English will magically soak into your mind. It feels like studying because you are hearing English, but let's be honest, it's mostly entertainment. Imagine you want to get physically fit. You want big muscles and great stamina. If you sit on your couch and watch hours of videos of athletes running marathons, will you lose weight? Will you get stronger? Of course not. Your eyes are watching, but your muscles are resting. Language is a physical sport. It requires the muscles of your mouth, your tongue, and the active wiring of your memory. Watching movies is fantastic for entertainment, but if you sit there silently, you are being passive. To get results, you have to turn that passive time into active training.
If you want to know how to learn English fast, you have to engage. Don't just watch the actor, pause the video. Mimic their intonation. Copy the exact sound of their voice. Write down the phrase that confused you. Shadow the dialogue. You need to move from being a spectator in the audience to being a player on the field. Myth number 2. Speed equals fluency. Now, let's talk about speed. This is a source of so much anxiety for my students. Somewhere along the way, learners got the idea that speaking fluently means speaking rapidly. You might think that if you can just spit out words at 100 miles per hour, people will think, wow, his English is amazing. Let me tell you the truth. Speed is not fluency. Speed is often just camouflage for nervousness. When you try to rush, your words crash into each other. Your grammar starts to fall apart because your brain can't keep up with your mouth. You end up mumbling, and the listener actually understands less, not more. Think about the most confident public speakers you know, even in your native language. Do they rush? No. They take their time. They are calm. They articulate. Real fluency is about connection. It is about being clear, comfortable, and confident. Native speakers slow down all the time. They stretch out words when they're thinking. They use pacing to make their point clear. If you want to understand fast native English speakers, you'll notice that even they vary their speed. They don't just run a race. So slow down. Breathe. Clarity is much more impressive than speed. Myth number 3. The 24/7 thinking pressure. Here is a piece of advice that causes a lot of unnecessary stress. You must think in English all the time. Teachers love to say this. Stop translating. Think in English. And while the goal is correct, the method is often wrong. You cannot simply flip a switch in your brain and delete your native language. Your brain creates your thoughts in your native language because that is how you survive and understand the world. When students try to force themselves to think in English every waking second, they fail. Then they feel guilty. They feel like they aren't talented enough. Thinking in English isn't a switch you turn on. It's a plant you grow. It is the result of practice, not the starting line. Instead of trying to force your brain to change overnight, focus on creating micro-environments. Don't worry about the clock or doing it for hours. Just pick moments. When you are making coffee, narrate that experience in English. When you are walking to the bus, describe the weather in English. When you hear a song, sing the lyrics. These small moments add up. You don't need to pressure yourself to be 100% English all day long. If you build these small habits, one day you will realize that stop translating in your head has happened naturally, without you even forcing it. Myth number 4, the magic method hunt. I see so many of you searching for the holy grail. You are looking for that one perfect app, that one specific textbook, or that one video course that solves everything. You think, if I just find the right method, I will be fluent. Here's the hard truth. One perfect method does not exist. Learning a language is like building a house. You cannot build a whole house using only a hammer. You need a saw, a drill, a screwdriver, and a paintbrush. If you only use an app, you might get good at vocabulary, but you will fail at conversation. If you only read books, your grammar will be great, but your pronunciation might suffer. You need a mix. You need to listen to real voices. You need to read stories. You need to write journals. And most importantly, you need to speak with humans. Don't look for one magic solution. Build your own toolkit. Variety is what makes your brain flexible and strong. Myth number 5, the myth of constant progress. This next misconception is the reason most people quit. People believe that learning is a straight line that goes up, up, and up. They think every week should be better than the last.
But reality doesn't work like that. Learning a language is more like climbing a rugged mountain. Sometimes you climb fast and the view changes quickly, but then you hit a plateau. You walk flat for a long time. You might feel like you are working hard, but staying in the same place. This is called the plateau of latent potential. It feels like failure, but it is actually growth. During these quiet times, your brain is reorganizing. It is strengthening connections deep in your memory. You aren't stuck. You are consolidating. So if you feel like you aren't moving forward, don't panic. Do not quit. This is the most crucial time to keep going. Your brain is preparing for the next big jump. Myth number 6, the too old excuse. Let's address the adults in the room. I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 60. I missed my chance. My brain is too old to learn. This is simply fear talking. It is true that children absorb sounds like sponges, but they lack something you have. Discipline, strategy, focus. As an adult, you understand how to learn. You can analyze patterns. You can set goals. You have life experience to attach the language to. Your accent might not become perfect as quickly as a child's, but your ability to communicate complex ideas can actually develop faster because you have the cognitive tools of an adult. Fluency is not a biological timer that runs out when you turn 18. It is a result of habit. If you put in the work, your age does not matter. Don't let a number on a calendar stop you. Myth number 7. Complexity versus simplicity. Some of you want to sound very intelligent in English, so you memorize the longest, most complicated words you can find in the dictionary. You study advanced grammar structures that even native speakers rarely use. But using rare words often creates a barrier, not a bridge. If you use a word incorrectly, or if you use a formal word in a casual setting, it sounds strange. It creates confusion.
The muscles of English are the simple, high-frequency phrases. How's it going? I'm on my way. Let me check that. These aren't fancy, but they are the glue that holds real conversations together. Real intelligence in language is taking a complex idea and explaining it simply, not the other way around. Focus on the basics. Master the common phrases. That is where real power lives. Myth number 8, the fear of silence. Finally, let's talk about silence. We are terrified of silence. We think that if we pause for 2 seconds, the other person will think we are stupid or that we don't know the answer. So we fill the air with, or we rush into a sentence before we are ready. But listen to a powerful leader speak. Listen to a good storyteller. They pause. Silence is not a failure. Silence is a tool. It gives you time to find the right word. It gives the listener time to process what you just said. It shows that you are thoughtful and in control. Embrace the pause. Don't apologize for taking a moment to think. It makes you look more confident, not less. So, which of these myths have you been carrying around? Which one of these lies has been slowing you down? I want you to take a deep breath and let them go. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. You don't need to be young. You just need to show up, be active, and trust the process. Fluency is a journey of small steps taken with a courageous heart. Keep practicing, keep making mistakes, and keep moving forward. If this video helped clarify your path, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more learners like you. And don't forget to subscribe to English Glow for more honest, effective guides to mastering English. I'll see you in the next video. Keep glowing.